Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Stray. This will be the final video in our LP here. And we are approaching the control room. Enjoy the world's safest city, Walled City 99. Well, another thing I was thinking, based on the payphones, it says call anywhere in the US for 50 cents, so that would seem to imply that Walled City 99 is somewhere within the United States. I don't know. I mean, I've never seen any other country's payphones where you call anywhere in another country for 50 cents. So, yeah. But of course, this map does not look at all accurate to the continents of the world. So, I mean, that looks like we're on Greenland or Madagascar or something, yeah. But then again, this may just be a very stylized depiction of the world. So I'm not taking this map as any real indication of geography here. We have this guy. We can meet this person. Helper 477. Hello, how may I help you? Okay. You can see everything here is mighty clean, including the companions here. They look bright and shiny and new, and this guy's just perpetually sweeping. Same thing with the drinks. What do we got here? Let me take a look at the drinks. We've got fresh juice, natural. We've got purple melon juice. What the heck is purple melon? We got lemon cold tea, natural taste. That's a hot drink. Pure water. I would hope so. Some kind of energy drink. Something with an R on it. That's a hot drink. Green cold brew tea. Cold brew coffee. Again, these are very much like Asian vending machines. Fresh fruit. Fruit tea or something. Energy power. Natural. Coffee. Cold brew coffee. Ice black coffee, ice milk coffee, and coffee fresh. Well, isn't that just tasty? There's a coin return, and it's powered by wind energy, apparently. Even has a serial number, yep. Do not break the vending machine, do not break the glass, do not try to steal money from it. Protected by something system, what does that say? Protected by bank? I can't read it. So, moving on. It's so funny to have these incline automatic walkways as opposed to escalators. I don't know. You think an escalator might be a little bit safer, but not. Or you can take the stairs. Yep. What's over here? This one is broken, looks like. Another vending machine. Greetings, inhabitant of Walled City 99. So these companions really have nothing to say, but of course notice the cleanliness of the environment, the fact that they're just doing repetitive motions over and over. And of course, indicating that these companion robots, unlike the other ones, do not have any personalities. They're just automatons. I'm currently painting this area. Please be careful of the wet paint. Have a nice day. Yeah, they have no specific names other than helper and some numerical designation. They're just doing the upkeep, tending the plants, sweeping the floors, painting the walls. So this place has been upkeep for God knows how long. This city has been here since the extinction of humanity. At least in this city, for all we know. And they've just been doing their jobs non-stop since forever. The city is sealed. Violating the rules of confinement will result in a heavy prison sentence. Okay, so the city is obviously still locked down. Greetings, inhabitant of Walled City 99. This door leading to the surface is currently locked due to the confinement procedure. Please refer to any certified engineer inside the control room if you have any requests. Have a nice day. Alright, well thank you, 556. Look, he even puts his hands together, right? And they just give the old standard little spiel. How may I help you? Greetings, walled city, yada yada yada. Can we read this newspaper? Nope. Even the newspaper is printed in the funny... Yeah, the funny paper. That's another thing that I thought a little bit strange, is if the robots gradually develop their own language, then why would a newspaper printed in that robot language even be up here? Presumably where no sentient robot with a personality has been, since these robots are just, you know, your vanilla standard. Huh, it's weird. Maybe something the developers overlooked. Anyway, hello, my current task is clean the window. Yada yada yada. Okay, so that's, have you been cleaning that one spot all this time? Well, we can kind of see the outlay of the city here. And again, I believe someone actually mapped the route that this cat has taken. So if you look over there, see those like 4 windows over there and that one with the real dark streak coming down it? That's roughly where you emerge into the dead city right after your fall. Okay, because you can see those streaks, and directly ahead you can see those lights right there in the center where the elevator is, the elevator that doesn't work that goes up to Midtown, and that's Midtown right there. We can see, yep, that orange sign right down there, that is the slums, and that's Momo's place. And over there is the rooftops and the transmitter tower where we put the transceiver. So essentially we came from there down through roughly, I guess through that lighted corridor area there into the slums, right? Then we went over there to the tower, the radio tower, went back to the slums. Then we kind of did a short jaunt over, rescued Doc, and then we went into the sewers. And then we eventually made our way up to Midtown, or to Ant Village, which is not shown here, because Ant Village, I believe, is completely enclosed under some structure. And then eventually we made our way up to Midtown, did a jaunt around Midtown, boarded the subway, and came all the way here to the control room. So in reality, we have not traveled that far. In fact, we haven't even explored. There's a lot more of the city to theoretically explore. It's just we haven't seen it, right? We've only explored a small fraction of this whole city. But again, like I was mentioning, if this is any indication, the design of this city is terribly inefficient. I think that's the prison over there, yeah. Right there with that red light, that beacon. That looks like the watchtower. Yeah, that's the prison, I believe. So yeah, we escaped the prison, drove over here, yep. So yeah, most of the interior of this building, right? We know it's a certain diameter and all that. They've mapped out the dimensions. But most of it is not even being taken up by anything. It's mostly empty space, yeah. Although I guess those cranes down there on the rooftops would imply that, taller structures would eventually have been built, but most of this place is just empty space. It's not a very good design. Very inefficient in the use of space. Okay, these look like bathrooms or something. What do we have here? The control room is closed by some sort of security protocol. It says that only humans are authorized to enter. It also says that I'm not considered human. Hey, that's offensive, security protocol. Well, I guess biologically you're not V12, but yes, you are technically human. Maybe if we work together we can open this passageway. So we need to go to the other side here, but we can't reach that. But there is another cabinet thingy here. So come here, boy, come here. And luckily it just automatically stops there. We can jump up on top. And why isn't it letting me interact with it? Come on. Wait, oh, wait. I need to go over here. B12, you need to go there. There we go. Then we can do our little cat magic by scratching the wires here. And that shorts it out and opens the door. Presumably that's a safety feature. If something gets broken or disabled, the doors will automatically open to let people out, so they don't become trapped in there. This looks like a checkpoint or something, because that window should probably be open. This is the control room for the entire city. They controlled everything from here, and it's empty. I remember hating them so much. They had everything. Clean space, limitless power, freedom to move. Little good it did them. Yeah. Certainly didn't save them. Yeah, I guess in a way they got what's coming to them, huh, B12? The plague. I remember now. Everyone was dying and they thought they were above it all. They did nothing to help us. I watched my family die. I felt helpless. I couldn't do anything to save them. But I can still help you. We can still go outside together. I will carry the memories of humanity and the people I loved. Oh, that's very good of you, B12. Alright, and that completes all of our memories. I remember everything now. I feel amazing. Thank you so much. Here, a little present for you. And when you do all the memories, it turns your backpack iridescent. I don't know. Looks a bit weird to me. I mean, nice, thanks B12, but I prefer the standard black version, to be honest, you know. Yeah, that's your big reward for getting all the memories. These papers look like they're written in English. Can't read them though, but yeah. Anyway, it's probably just like the, you know, the standard placeholder text that you see on like Microsoft Word or something, you know. So yeah, that was B12's memories. So again, unfortunately, he doesn't really explain everything that happened, but the popular theory about what happened is that there was some kind of ecological disaster that was ravaging the planet, and humans built these walled cities to protect themselves, and effectively they went into lockdown in a containment protocol, sealed themselves up inside. Unfortunately, their society basically went into a very classist society with you know, the poor and, you know, controlled by the wealthy, hinting at a very strong class divide and a socioeconomic divide between the population. However, confine this many people in such a dense area, right, where you have a high population density and in a confined area, you're going to produce a lot of trash. And so in order to deal with that trash, NACO Corp bioengineered the Zurks, or the bacteria, which eventually got out of control and ultimately mutated into the Zurks, which began eating pretty much everything. And as we saw, the Zurks are pretty much right on the boundary of the slums. So there's that. And I guess in theory, in doing so, in confining themselves in this city and producing heaps and heaps of garbage and trying to control it all, it eventually introduced a plague which killed off humanity, leaving behind the companions. So that's essentially the fate of humanity. In trying to protect ourselves from the disaster outside, we inadvertently created a plague inside this walled city, and they killed themselves off. So we know that this is Walled City 99, which would seem to imply that there's at least 98 other walled cities somewhere out there, probably in various places. There may even be more than 99. There may be maybe hundreds or thousands of walled cities out there. Maybe there's a walled city 583 or something. I don't know. So, I mean, again, we only know what's inside this city. We know that there are no humans inside this walled city, inside of Walled City 99, but maybe there are humans still alive somewhere else in other walled cities. Maybe those other ones survived. Maybe they didn't have a Zerk problem. Maybe this, maybe that, what if, and so on. This clock, however, that clock goes up to 16. Why not 12? Again, these are weird little oversights, like the newspapers, the clocks, right? You think all this stuff would still be like since, again, no one's been up here, presumably for a long, long time. You think this stuff would still be written in English or whatever. The clocks would still go to 12 or what, yeah. Can't really read any of this stuff here. Okay, so let's see if we can't find our way outside. This is it, the main computer. This is the main computer. Yeah, it looks like it came out of like the 70s or something. According to the mainframe, no one has been here for years. Oh, okay. How long is years, B12? Hundreds of years? Thousands of years? 2 years? 5 years? What? The whole city is stuck in a lockdown cycle from long ago. If we disable it, we should be able to leave. Alright, let's do that. We need to bring the rest of these systems online. These computers hold the data we need. We need to turn them on. While you do that, I'll look for passwords and encrypted keys to get into the system. Alright, you got it, buddy. That seems like a very complex, procedure and operation we need to do, but really all we need to do is just step on the keyboards and wake these computers up from their sleep. They've all gone into sleep mode. Interestingly, yep, they've just been left on. No one bothered to even turn half of them off. It worked. Good job, my friend. Yep, it's all in the hardworking cat's life, right? I found it. I know how to open the city. Something's off here. Wait, maybe there's a way around it. Roof control station. Oh, system locked. There, that's the workstation to open the city. But there are several layers of security preventing us from using it. Now we need to do what we do best. Me, I'll hack the machines, and you destroy some stuff. Sounds like a plan. Okay, so we have 3 places. There are 3 locks we need to get at. We can start right here. Do the old scratchy. Go, and now you go over and hack that. Uh-oh. The system is taking more than I expected. Yeah, that doesn't seem like a very good idea. Oh, intrusion alert. Well, we seem to have set off some alarms. Oh no, we've got to keep going. Okay. Number 2 is right here. We'll push that over, jump down. Yeah, your antenna there are looking a little bit hot. Don't worry, I can recharge once we open that workstation. Okay, we can take a rest. I don't know. I mean, looks like you're having a rough go of it. Alright, last one. Good luck, B12. I think this little body is done for. No, you can make it. It's okay, I'll be alright. Just carry me to the workstation. We can disable that alarm. Ooh, B12, you're looking a little worse for wear there, buddy. We'll get this place open, don't you worry. Cat sits in the chair. That's it, we're safe. Listen, I have something to tell you. I knew the power required to disable the city's central control system would be immense, more than this drone body could handle. No! But with the security now disabled, I can take control of the system and open the city. Overriding it can destroy my software. And I made that choice when I hooked into that first computer and the consequences it could bring. I'm sorry we won't see the outside together. This is getting emotional here. I thought I needed to carry on the memories of humanity, to hold on to the past. But I see a future in the companions and you. Here, let me take that off you. No, we just got it. You're my friend, the very best I could have asked for. Darn ninja cats are cutting onions in here. Thank you. No, thank you, B12. Not our little buddy. Well, you made a heroic sacrifice. Oh, door opening. Please wait. 1%, 2%. And the roof, it's opening up. Look at that. Yay, and it'll kill all the Zerks because it's natural UV light. Yep, they're popping like confetti. It's Momo, he made it! And it's the Guardian in the slums. There's Doc and Seamus and Marusk on the right and the left there. Clementine! Ooh, she was cornered. Ah, it disables the Sentinel drones. I guess there's no need for them. The lockdown is lifted. That'd be incredible. They've never seen the sky before. Or the sun. And that one guy will get to see his stars for once. Let's jump up and look. Wow, it really sheds some light on the city. Yeah, pun intended. God, look at all the little, like the petals, the layers of this iris on this roof. Imagine all the crap that's on top of this. Like, is the roof like flat? Imagine all the junk and other garbage and debris that's piled up on top of this roof over the centuries or something. But again, oh man, imagine like, man, I wonder like if there was a major pressure differential and like just the sudden, you know, influx of fresh air out there, right? Because again, we came from the outside. We had seen the sky and the moon and the clouds and the rain and all that at the start of this game. So I mean, Yeah. And they even go behind these shutters here, yeah. Alright, so it's a big cylinder. Is this walled city. We can get a really good look at it now. Yep, there's the dead city. There are the slums right down there. There's the elevator. There's the rooftops. God, oh man, you can just totally see that pinkish goo. That's weird though. I mean, like, because, oh, there's some over there too. I mean, the sunlight only really affects the little Zerks. Because, yeah, what do we. You're going to still have to clean that stuff up, you know, unless the sunlight will eventually kill it. But, and to say nothing of the Zerks and those giant Zerk eyeballs down in the sewers that receive no sunlight regardless. So, ooh, you may still have a bit of an ecological problem in this city, if you know what I mean. There's Midtown. So, and there's the prison. Alright, well, there's Walled City 99 in all its glory. Some fresh air, some sun, get that vitamin D. I don't think the robots need vitamin D, but you know what I'm saying. Well, sadly, we cannot take B12's drone corpse with us. If we press Y, it just has us lie down there. Maybe we'll spend another minute with our friend. Let the camera pull out. And it says something about, you know, a cat cared more for his drone friend than opening up the city. It's almost kind of funny, you know. I mean, again, because the cat came from the outside, it already knows what it's looked like, so why would it care so much about getting to the outside, you know? But B12, remember that B12, his family's gone. Everyone he literally knew is gone. So, I mean, he probably didn't have a whole lot to live for either, in a kind of a sad, tragic way. For all we know, he may have been one of the last humans here. Again, technically speaking. But at least we opened up the city for the rest of the robots, the companions, so they can hopefully find their way outside. Presumably it opened up the entrances to the city as well. So let's get on with it and head back outside. So now that we've lifted the lockdown, the city is open. City is actually open. You can freely get in and get out. And alas, because we do not have B12, we cannot talk to any of these companions anymore. Whether or not they have anything profound to say about this event, this historical event, is debatable. Oh god, he even created like scratches into the ground. Yes, this is definitely an exit. And I see light. Like real light, real sunlight. Obviously nature has crept back into this area. See the butterflies. And the birds. Alright, let's go find our family. So yes, life has returned to the earth. Smell the fresh air. Others have said possibly this cat is using its scent to try and find where its family is. Give the slow blinks. And off it goes. Oh, B12, was that you? So, that was Stray, the story of a small ginger cat and his drone friend who basically saved the world for a bunch of robots. Stray was a short but impactful game to play. On the surface, Stray is basically a straightforward, platforming, puzzle-solving adventure game that takes place in a cyberpunk world. However, the developer's decision to portray the main character as a cat and a small drone significantly alter the player's perspective and interactivity with the world. The game's story and themes subtly alternate between presenting an oppressive and dark atmosphere with a hopeful message about the future of the world. The choice of protagonist, or protagonists for that matter, the atmosphere tone, the music, and the gameplay mechanics all come together to create a world that is very immersive and a story that, while short, is still very compelling despite its simplicity. While playing as an animal isn't anything particularly innovative in video games, Stray pulls it off well by leaning on a number of tropes. First of all, the game leans on what TV tropes refers to as the accidental hero and the nominal hero tropes, among many others, when it comes to the cat. There is arguably nothing really special about the cat as a protagonist, and as I mentioned in my playthrough, the cat is almost inconsequential. They have no special abilities, and they literally fall into the plot. Had that not happened, and had they never released B12 from the network, then the whole plot would never have even occurred, and Walled City 99 would still be in lockdown. Still, apart from meowing, the cat remains silent, only communicating with typical feline body language, and through B12 acting as a translator/interpreter. It's a rare case of video games having a mostly silent protagonist, but a realistic silent animal protagonist, and having it feel impactful. Regarding B12, he is essential to the story and the success of The Outsiders. We literally could not communicate with others or operate certain machines without him. I realize, of course, the similarity between B12 and Navi from The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, except, well, B12 is far less annoying and he's useful, and you actually bond with him over the course of the game. I mean, yes, I got a little teary-eyed when he sacrificed himself at the end to lift the lockdown. The game makes excellent use of its texture and lighting to create its cyberpunk look. Everything from the rundown, garbage-filled dead city and slums, to the gloomy sewers, to the neon-lit midtown, ooze an atmosphere that's reminiscent of classic cyberpunk films like Blade Runner. Not surprising, since everyone tends to associate that film with cyberpunk. But simply adding neon lights and grimy textures is not enough. Stray succeeds by setting a very melancholy, yet slightly optimistic tone by the end of the game. In the beginning, Walled City 99 initially feels derelict and deserted. With no humans left, the tone is dark and dreary, but grows brighter as you meet the companions and learn of their plight. The cat and B12's actions succeed in motivating Momo to carry on, and in reuniting Doc and Seamus. These small good deeds fairly early on in the game serve to brighten a fairly pessimistic situation. The sewers definitely represent the rock bottom, where we see the horrific extent of the Zerk infestation. While the giant eyes are never really explained, the implication is that they're part of a more evolved and possibly even malevolent intelligence that controls the small Zerks. One thing the game does really well is to create a sense of pathos. The game's melancholy tone comes through in both the environmental design and the story of the cat and B12, as well as with the Outsiders and the other companions. With B12's sacrifice, the last quote-unquote human in Walled City 99 dies, and the companions and the cat are left to carry on their legacy. Of course, the flickering screen at the very end implies that he may still be alive in the network. I don't have much to say about the music since I'm not really well versed in composition. However, the music effectively sets the tone of the game. Minimalistic at times and whimsical at others, the music seemed to be a mix of down-tempo, lo-fi chill-out beats, and those ambient atmospheric sounds you listen to on YouTube while you're studying or trying to get to sleep. The score made the vibe of the game unique, and thankfully steered away from the jazz-heavy blues tones of Vangelis' score for the 1982 film Blade Runner, as well as the electronic techno vibes of the 1999 and early 2000s Matrix films. In terms of game mechanics, the platforming aspects were fairly well done. The decision to allow the cat to jump on certain objects with a context-specific button press was a pretty smart move on part of the developers, because it prevented the player from accidentally stepping off ledges to their deaths, and also cued the player into what areas were reachable in the environment. Now, from my understanding, this was an intentional change because early playtests of the game, players would actually miss jumps or ignore potential jumps because they thought the cat couldn't make it.
Similarly, the on-screen UI was minimal and only showed the player what was really needed. This went further to creating an immersive experience. The puzzles were pretty simple and not particularly challenging, but they did make sense for a cat. The combat portions against the Zurks were okay, and they weren't terribly dynamic because they just involved you running around and shining the defluxor lamp on them. Also, I don't really get why the cat never tried to use its claws to defend itself. Like, we know it has claws because when it scratches stuff it leaves claw marks, so it's not declawed, a practice which I'm actually against personally, but anyway, it seemed a little bit weird for me. These stealth portions in the latter parts of the game, when you're trying to sneak past the sentinels, were a little bit underwhelming, but I wouldn't call them bad. At the very least, they added some variety to the game. In my opinion, one of the best mechanics of the game was simply changing the camera angle. By shifting the camera position down to just above the height of the cat, it allowed the player to view the world from the cat's perspective. Additionally, by keeping the cat's behavior realistic, the player cannot do anything that your average cat could not do. In other words, you can only manipulate small objects in a simple fashion. You can behave as a cat would behave. The player can meow, scratch up the furniture, jump on things, push small objects over, sleep, and nuzzle up against the robot companions. The only real concessions, largely I assume for gameplay purposes, are that the cat seems to be a bit more intelligent than your average feline by possessing an understanding of how simple machines work, as noted by its ability to kind of logically think through these puzzles. And, of course, somehow being able to understand B12's speech, as it were. I don't really have too many criticisms of this game. I do wish that it were a bit longer, like maybe 1 or 2 hours longer, and that there were more open areas to explore and roam around in freely. Like, for example, if Ant Village or the control room sections were bigger and there was more to do there. The game succeeds in giving you just enough information to whet your appetite, but leaves enough unanswered questions that you want to know more. Personally, I have no issue with the open ending, and I can easily see a sequel game going off in a completely different direction, or in a different setting and location with a different cat, or a different animal, or even a completely different protagonist. The trouble with sequels, of course, comes with trying to expand the world and the gameplay and the associated lore, but at the same time giving players more of the same, yet also making it feel unique. What I will say is that I do not want this game to turn into a cat simulator where you have to manage all these different things like health or food or water or etc. Stray is a unique game because it appeals to my love of the cyberpunk genre, and of course, as many have pointed out, half of the appeal of the game is simply getting to play as a cat. Not surprising, of course, because Blade Runner is my favorite film, and I could talk about it for hours, and believe me, I have. However, the game approaches the genre in a fresh way through the characters, the music, and the mechanics. The atmosphere and tone are classic cyberpunk, and the game alludes to a variety of themes that are fairly common to the genre. As I mentioned before in one of the videos, I want to make a thematic analysis of this game, but that's for later. As it stands, Stray was a short but very fun and profound experience. Who would have thought that a story of a stray cat and his drone buddy would change the world for a bunch of robots and the end of humanity? So, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you later.